Good morning, children. We do the last topic of today, and that is dialogue writing. Okay, the first line itself, I've made a mistake, is GRA. Okay, I've made a GR. So, grammar, we are going to do grammar, dialogue writing. Now, you know what's a dialogue? It's a talk between two or three or more than two people. Okay, more than one person. Of course, one person cannot talk with his own self. So, a dialogue is basically a conversation, talking between two people or more people. Now, what they will be talking about? They will be talking about something of common interest. Maybe they've gone to school and one child was absent. So they start the conversation by asking why they were absent. Yes, and then they start the conversation. The child may say that I was not well, I had fever, and then that's how the conversation changes to the topic of uh, being cleanliness. Yes, so or the environment, how polluted the environment, and because of which sickness is increasing. Yes, the even the cleanliness, the pollution, all this can uh, increase the sickness around. So that's what they can start discussing. Okay, so what they are discussing is a topic which is common to both of them. Okay, which both want to talk about. Okay, now so let's read. What is a dialogue? A dialogue is a conversation between two or more persons on any given topic of common interest, wherein they express their feelings and opinions. So, when they're talking, they are going to talk about what they feel and what they think. Format of a dialogue. Now, the first thing, you begin the dialogue with a heading and an introduction in short, about one or two lines. Like, for example, suppose you're writing a dialogue, as I said, on pollution. So, you will start with a dialogue between uh, Rima and Pooja t- discussing the increasing pollution in the atmosphere. Okay, so that will be your introduction. Yes, and if you want to increase and its effects and how to control it. So if you're going to talk about all this in your, but you will have to talk about all this in your dialogue. So not just tell the effect about talk about the increasing pollution, you'll also talk about its effects and also talk about how to control it. So your dialogue should have all this. This is your heading and introduction. Clear? This is very, very important because this has separate marks. If you don't have your heading and you don't have your introduction, you are going to lose marks even if your dialogue is perfect. Clear? Okay. Now the second one. The name or names of the speaker or speakers are followed by a colon. So whoever is speaking, like I just said, Rima and Pooja. So then the moment you write Rima, you will have a colon. The moment you have Pooja, you will have a colon. You do not have inverted commas. Instead of inverted commas, you have a colon in a dialogue. Okay, inverted commas tells you exactly what the person is talking, correct? Direct speech. Here you use direct speech, but you do not use the inverted commas. Instead of that, you use the colon. Now when you see the example I've given you, you will understand. Each piece of information is written separately, one below the other. So as soon as one person's dialogue is over, you write the next person's dialogue on the next line. You do not write it or continue writing on the same line. The next person's dialogue comes on the next line, even if it's just one word, even if it's just yes or no. The next person's dialogue starts on the next line. Okay. It is generally written in the direct speech. So I just told you it's written in direct speech, but there will be no inverted commas. Instead of the inverted commas, you will have a colon. Now, essentials of a good dialogue. Now, what's important to see that your dialogue is good? The entire dialogue should match with the tone and nature of the person. So if you're having a boy and a girl, so you should have a dialogue which matches with what they are saying. Yes, you can't say the boy will say I wore a dress and the girl will say I wore my shirt. Okay, so you should think what you're writing. So it should match with the nature also. Maybe the girl is a sports person, so she's talking more about sports, and the boy is very weak. So even though he's a boy, she's trying to convince him that sports is important, Exercise is important for good health. Okay. Avoid cliches and stereotypes or hackneyed expressions. Now, cliches are it's a French word which means repetition. Okay, stereotype also means the same, and hackneyed expressions also mean the same. Expressions or words which are just repeated again and again, phrases in the same dialogue. You'll go on oh, or no, 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 yeah, and yeah. These words, especially these words like yeah, y-a-h, okay, are not allowed because they're not the actual words in English. Will you find yeah anyway in anyway? No, it's a slang language. So try not to use words like this, like which contain words of slang language. Okay. Hmm? Now, do not uh, be precise and direct. Do not change ideas abruptly. So when you are writing about something, be precise. Whatever you are writing should be to the point, not like, oh, I went and, oh, this, you know what happens? The children write the dialogue, oh, wow, they've written one full page. But what is in the page? Hi, Rima, how are you? I'm fine, how are you? And how's your mommy? She's fine. How's your daddy? He's fine. How's your brother? He's fine. Oh, and how's your grandma? She's also fine. Okay, so your whole page is over. That's not the way it should be. The matter, what you're writing about, should be there. Maybe a short introduction in the beginning where they say, greet each other with a hi, and then you directly should go to the topic. Maybe you start with a hi and say, like just as I told you, why you didn't come to school? Or where are you going? So you say, I'm going to the doctor. So what happened? I'm sick. Okay. Or why you didn't come to school? Because I was sick. Or why you didn't come to school? Because my mom was sick. Whatever it is. Whatever it is, the actual point of the dialogue should start almost immediately after your beginning introduction, not just hi, hello, how are you, all throughout. Okay. And I just said no using slang languages. Okay. Like yar. I seen very often also, oh yar, no yar. Okay. No words to be used like this. Okay. Last one. Ensure grammatical accuracy, correct spelling, and appropriate punctuation. So your sentences should be grammatically accurate or correct, and the spelling should be right, and you should use the proper punctuations, means where a full stop is needed, where a comma is needed. Okay. Now let's see the first model. Compose an imaginary dialogue between Sue and John C. when they realize about what Bearman had done for John C. This is on page 72. Yes, in your from your textbook. Now see an answer. Now you see the first line is the introduction. Okay, this is your first line. I told you, you should start with an introduction. This carries marks separately besides your whole dialogue. So what is this dialogue about? That is what should be written over here. An imaginary dialogue between Sue and John C. discussing about what Bedman had done for John C. This is what your dialogue is going to tell you or be about. Okay, now very important. You see, have a look at the names that I have written. The names are Sue and John C. These two are conversing or having a dialogue with each other. Now, I did not write Sue and make two dots as soon as the word Sue is over. Did I make the two dots over here, colon over here? No. You have to analyze what are the two names being used over here. One is Sue and one is John C. Which is the longer name, John C. So you make a dot, leave a space after the last alphabet and make two dots over here. And accordingly, you will make the dots above it. Clear? So your dots or your colon should be aligned. That is, not एक आगे पीछे नहीं होना चाहिए. It should be in one line like this. Clear? That's the way your dialogue should be. So did you say any inverted commas over here? No. But instead of the inverted commas, what is there? These two colons. Okay. So once the colon is there, means these are the exact words spoken by Sue. These are the exact words spoken by John. So this is called your dialogue writing. This is your actual format. Now there is no rule for leaving or not leaving a line, but if you leave a line but not you leave a line after what each person says. It looks neater. Okay, like say this is the first thing Sue says. Sue. So Chauncey, I'm so glad you are at the way on the way to recovery. This is the end of the sentence. So after that, you will leave a line because John C's dialogue starts next. Okay, so between what the two people say, there should be a line if you want it to be neat. If you don't, also in the no one will minus your marks, but it may not look neat, and the teacher may give you less marks just for that. Okay, so let's read. Chauncey. If only I had listened to you earlier. See, again I've left a line. See, did you know that the last leaf was just a painting? Chauncey. Yes, and that was indeed Mr. Bearman's masterpiece. See, truly it was. What artistic skill he had. Chauncey. I wonder why he painted the leaf. Shoo. I told him about you and your illogical connection between the falling of the leaves and getting well. Now here, there is no need of leaving line over here. Okay, in your page, here I've written it so because I'm typing it, so it's just the format that keeps on following, and I really didn't have much time to change it. So when this person, both the lines are being said by one person, no need of leaving line over here. When this dialogue gets over, then you will leave a line before the dialogue of the next person. Clear? Okay, let's read. I told him about you and your illogical connection between the falling of the leaves and getting well. Chauncey. So what did he do then? Sue. He too strongly disagreed with your fancy. Chauncey. Yes, it was really foolish of me to think so. Sue. Observing how foolish and stubborn you were, he decided to take things into his own hands. See, I've used expressions over here. Take things in his own hands. Okay. He painted the last leaf and put it on the is missing over here. So please write on the bare ivy vine. Put it on the should be here on the bare ivy vine. Johnson. It was so realistic that I failed to realize that the last leaf had fallen the previous night. You, yes, it was as he promised, a masterpiece. Okay, so that ends your dialogue. Now we go to the second example. Write in your notebook an imaginary telephonic conversation between you and your family doctor's secretary, asking for an appointment to consult the doctor for a health problem you are suffering from. Now, if you observe, they have not told you your name. They have not told you what sort of a doctor he is. Neither have they told you what your health problem is. So this they have left to you to decide. Either you say you have a headache, you can say you have a cold, you can say you have a cough, you have whatever. Over here, you can say joint pain or you have fever. So the health problem is not mentioned over here that you can decide. Okay, but they are very specific about something. How they want you to begin. So this is the way you will begin. Okay, begin with secretary. Good morning, this is XYZ Clinic. Myself. Good morning, I am. And then you will tell your name. Okay, so this is the way it will be. Now it is on textbook, in the textbook page 86. So let's begin your answer. This is your introduction. An imaginary telephonic conversation between my family doctor's secretary and myself asking for an appointment consulting the doctor about pain and cramps in my leg. Secretary, good morning. This is XYZ Clinic. How can I help you? Good morning. Myself. Good morning. I am Rohit Desai. I need to fix an appointment with Dr. Singh. Secretary, for what, sir? Myself. Tomorrow. For when, sir? Myself. Tomorrow, if possible. Secretary, tomorrow will be is possible, but late in the evening. Will that do? Myself, yes, I think so. What time will that be? Secretary, I'm fixing your appointment for 8:15 p.m. Myself, all right. That is fine for me. I will be there. Secretary, sir, what is the matter of your illness? Myself, I have been experiencing cramps, pain, and discomfort in my right leg. So here, what did he talk about? He was talking about the pain in his leg. Is the pain very severe? Myself, no, it is not so severe, but it occurs often and lasts for about an hour. So the reason you're going is because the pain lasts for a long time. Yes, and it's happening quite often, again and again. Secretary, okay, I have noted that. The doctor will see you tomorrow. Myself, thank you very much. You are welcome, sir. Okay, so this is the way. See, if it's a question, you will put a question mark. If it's something expressing fear, you can use your exclamatory mark, comma, full stop, whatever is needed and wherever it is needed. Now your homework. Write a conversation between Jerry and his father discussing the need for sports in school. So here you can say, talk. Jerry and his father are have gone for an early morning walk. Okay, then there they see the people around them jogging, even old people jogging in the park, and then they start discussing. So then you can start a discussion like, see that uncle, like even old people need exercise, not just the young. In fact, it's very very important. Exercise is a very important part of your life. People shouldn't forget. Yes, and then you talk about the benefits of sports, benefits of exercise. See, the school is there, but then most of the children are just learning online. They're not doing any physical activities or whatever you want to do. Okay, remember your school board is waiting for you. Okay, now we move to the next one. Write a dialogue between two friends discussing the importance of cleanliness. So this is the same what I told you. You can talk about cleanliness in someone else's building or in your building, why it is important to have cleanliness in your life. Then you can also add your uh, saying like cleanliness is next to godliness in between wherever you want. If you're not clean, you can get many diseases, you can fall sick, you'll be inviting trouble because you'll be even inviting insects like dengue and mosquitoes and rats, which uh, are found only in the waste places. Okay, so how why is it clean, why is it important? You will also fall sick. Okay, so this is the way you will write your dialogue. Okay, now I hope you'll have understood everything. With this we end your portion, at least for the second UT. Thank you and do have a great day. You can call me if you have any doubt. Thank you.